Many people come to see me who are longing to create love in their lives, but who really fear that they're beyond hope, that they're just kind of too damaged or too far gone or too messed up, or their past has just been too painful and that they won't be able to overcome it. I recall one woman in particular who came to me this way, and she was a young woman. She was in her early 30s, and she had grown up in a very violent, abusive home, and she had seen her father be very physically abusive to her mother, and he was kind of a bully, and she was a very timid and weak woman who didn't really say much and tried to stay out of the way, but she didn't really protect herself, nor did she protect Erica. So Erica grew up with this deep feeling of being very, very unsafe, of being not a very valuable person, because she saw her father treat her mother as though she wasn't valuable at all, and she kind of internalized that. And she was very nervous about being vulnerable really at all with anyone, and she carried a lot of extra weight on her body. And even the way she spoke, she had kind of an edgy way of talking and almost street-like, very sarcastic. But it didn't take long to kind of get underneath that and to really discover how very sweet and tender that she really was, and very, very bright. And she'd been working on herself for a long time, as many of us have been, and so she kind of had a handle on her quote-unquote issues. But what she didn't really understand was how to really shift them and how to change herself into a person who could really create the kind of relationship that would have made her life very rich and happy and joyful, you know, with a man who was trustworthy and who loved her, that she felt safe with. That was really her #1 criteria, is to find a man that she felt safe with. And she felt so resigned and hopeless. The thing she really had going for her is that she was very courageous. And she was willing to take my word for it when I said, you can do this. I've seen this happen before, you can do this. And so she had the courage to set a commitment, to set an intention, and to commit herself to living in alignment with that intention. And she recognized that it was all about releasing her inner obstacles to love, that this wasn't about running out to find somebody, because she recognized that she was the one that had the barriers. And so she began to really do this process of being able to transform her life from the inside out. And she lived with great integrity about this future that she had set for herself, to find and meet and marry the one within a year, actually was the intention she set. And so she joined into the teleclass. She was very committed, and she read the book every day, and she did all the exercises. And what was extraordinary about her was her willingness to really shift how she was showing up in life and change her behaviors. So she literally started to let go of her defenses, to take risks, to be authentic and vulnerable. She started to learn how to speak up for herself so that she could create safety for herself and trust herself to be close to a man, because she would trust that she knew how to really assert what she needed and be able to tell him, and even be able to assess when she was dating him if he was a person who honored her needs and listened to what she had to say. And she was extraordinary, and it kind of upset her friends a lot because she started to change. They weren't used to this soft Erica. They weren't used to this person who was very authentic and who said no when she needed to say no. And she was willing to lose some people, and unfortunately she did in her life, but she stayed with it. And what was interesting is, without even trying to, Erica started to even lose weight. Her whole body started to change. Inside of taking her emotional armor off, her body just started to relax, and she could let go of some of the weight too. And it was about 9 months after she'd set this intention and started to do this work of transforming herself from the inside out that she met Steve, who was this really good guy, just this really gregarious, can-do, positive, decent, loving guy. And he was smitten with her immediately. He was just completely taken with her, because what he really liked and was drawn to was that she was both strong and vulnerable. at the same time. And they began a relationship. And it took her a while, because it did take her a long time to really trust him, but he was steady, and he stayed with her, and he helped her through those transitions. And they were together for about 3 years before they decided to marry, and now they're getting married next year. And I'm just so proud of her and so excited to share the process of what's really possible, even for those of us who feel hopeless. There is none of us who are too damaged to create the love that we're longing for. Not a one of us. Our future does not our past does not determine what's possible in our future. Our past does not determine what's possible in our future. So you can count on that.